If you are looking for what should be the subjects of learning in web design and development, then this is the proper video for you with those required information. Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. In this tutorial, we are going to know about what is the result of the course of the subjects that we are teaching here and how is it going to help you in getting your required job. Now, if we are looking into this particular site, it is practically a test project that had been done a long time ago. And here you can see there's a lot of changes. First of all, this is a Bootstrap responsive mobile site. And in this site, I have implemented a simple form field that will take input from the users and that will provide this output here down below. So this is the thing that we need to know first, what we should learn in our first place while we are new at web design and development. Now, talking about this project, as we can see here, this whole project, it is practically a static type. The only dynamic content over here is this form field. We are entering, for say, we are entering an email such as and here we are entering some comments such as, for say, how do you do? I'm submitting, and we can see here that a preloader had taken place, and then a dialog box pops out which says that entry details successfully saved. And if we press OK, we can see that all the input elements, those are getting refreshed. And if we come down below over here, we can see that the input that so far we have given into our form field here, it is now being executed over here. So this is the thing that we are going to understand in our following up courses. Now, if we just analyze this website, all we can see here that multiple things are being taken into consideration over here, such as the primary thing and the basic thing is HTML and CSS, as we have taught you previously. Then the second thing is Bootstrap responsiveness. If we switch back to our mobile responsiveness preview, we can see that at 320 and 480 dimension, pixel dimension here, everything is quite okay. Everything is coming down vertically, stacked down one over each other. And another thing that we need to observe over here is we are having no more sticky footer over here. This is what we want to emphasize to you. This is not about learning some dynamic contents. This is not about learning some static content, some static website. This is about learning all of them. You are building up this website. You know that you have to create a website, and that is why you are building it. Like this one, you can see that Bengal revolts or Roaring Tiger section. And if you click into this no more option, you see that it is now opening into another new page. And all those contents over here, those are practically static contents. These contents are never dynamic contents. But all the dynamic part is being observed over here, where I can enter my email or I can enter my comments over here and I can submit. And if I submit, then it will be shown over here into this segment. First thing that we need to know from our courses is that an in-depth knowledge in HTML and CSS. This is the first part. The second thing you need to know to make some mobile responsive site, and that is why you need to know about Bootstrap responsiveness or foundation. And the third part is you need to make your site dynamic, and that is why you need to know about some kind of programming languages. As in this case, I have practically used PHP, but PHP as a programming language is not sufficient enough to back you up. That is why if you want to show your records, then all you can do, you need to make a proper database, and that is why you need to know about MySQL database. That means you have to understand PHP and MySQL. If we just concentrate for a moment, for a while into our form field, the basic thing that we need to know that an user is just putting some input over here and he's placing submit. All your website can do is to accumulate those inputs, and then it is throwing back those inputs to the backend page of this front end page. and from that backend page, all your data, those are now getting into the database, and they are getting aligned into there, they are getting stored into there. And when you are trying to revoke those data, you are trying to fetch those data into your front site, into your home page or into your index page, then all you need to do, you need to make some additional programming such that you can fetch required data exactly that you want from the database. So this is what I call a complete knowledge. This is what we intend to teach you. The first of thing is you need to understand the basics. The second thing is you need to go to the moderate part, and the third thing is you need to go for the advanced part. Imagine that you are facing an interview panel, and your employer, he is asking you something on different subjects that you are not aware of. Now, this is a very embarrassing. What do they want? They practically want everything from you. But this is practically impossible, because without sticking into a particular part, without sticking into a particular direction, I don't think that you can expertise into any of these fields. So after you are getting your job, you need to specialize yourselves. You need to choose a side, and then you need to stick onto that. But this is a later part. The first thing is getting into the job, and that is why a complete and a overall knowledge is required. And in that essence, we are trying to teach you an overall concept about this subject. And that is why we have chosen those subjects, those we are about to teach you here, like this HTML and CSS, which is the very basic and fundamental of everything. Then we are teaching you about CSS3, which is a modern day technology. HTML5 and CSS3 is a modern web technology. And the third thing is you need to know about mobile responsiveness, and that is why you are learning about Bootstrap or Foundation or this sort of things. And the last part is you need to know about programming languages. And the very important thing is you need to gather some knowledge on frameworks, such as Bootstrap is a framework, WordPress is another framework. So WordPress will be the one that we will be teaching over here, and it requires some sufficient data, some sufficient understanding into the core relevant subjects. So this is what we wanted to know. This is the final discussion about what to learn in web design and development. So hope you guys have liked this tutorial. If you have liked this tutorial, then please do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button. From the next tutorial, we are going to back to our Bootstrap tutorial that we were working on presently. It is practically unfinished, and a lot of things are there. Those need to be clarified. Those need to be discussed over there. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.